Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. Sam Maxwell is the recipient of a knockout blow courtesy of Dalton Smith, and it was one of those highlight reel knockouts. Dalton Smith retains his British, I think and he also wins the Commonwealth title off Sam Maxwell. Retains the British title. He wins it outright, actually. Dalton Smith, this is. He's now 15 wins with 11 KOs, no draws, no defeats, and clearly he's going to move on to European level and then probably world level. He won this title with a 6-round stoppage of Sam MAXWELL. That was back in 2022 in August, so quite recently, really. Then he went on this winning streak. Casey Benjamin, he beat him in 12 rounds. That was a unanimous decision. Beat Billy Ellington on a unanimous decision. And now he's beaten Sam Maxwell on a 7th round KO and takes Maxwell's Commonwealth title. Super lightweight titles these are. This was one of those fights. I mean, for the first 3 rounds, almost nothing happened. And this was largely down to Sam Maxwell because he came out, both orthodox fighters, and it was like he was a fencer, like an Olympic fencer who was reluctant to thrust the sword. I mean, it was a sort of on guard sort of pose. Loads of feints. I mean, he was feinting like it was going out of fashion, desperately trying to draw Dalton Smith into committing. First round, I don't think anything happened at all. A second round, if I remember rightly, second round, Smith did venture forward. He was gradually creeping forward, I mean, at a snail's pace, and he did commit himself a few times. And when he did, Maxwell couldn't counter, and Dalton Smith was the one landing the punches. So first 3 rounds, virtually nothing happened. In the 4th round, actually I should mention the first round, actually Sam Maxwell got I don't know how this happened because I didn't see the punch. I didn't see any punches in that round, but he got some damage to, I think it was his right eye, and it looked like he'd been, well, I don't think you can thumb now because the gloves are thumbless gloves, or the thumb is attached to the rest of the glove. But he got an abrasion. It looked like it was on the eyeball. Tony Bellew in commentary said it might be a scratched eyeball. If so, that is unbelievably painful and irritating, and you ain't going to sleep for a few days with that sort of injury because it's just so irritating, it's so painful. But he carried on, and anyway, first 3 rounds, not a great deal happened. I gave all 3 of those rounds to Dalton Smith just because he was trying to do something and not just looking to, land the odd counter punch. Maxwell in the 4th round, actually Smith in the 4th round was putting it on Maxwell a little bit more. Then he got cut in the 5th round, and it was quite a bad cut. There was a clash of heads, and the right eye unzipped, and the blood was flowing quite freely. And apparently there's the 4 round, 4 completed rounds you can go to the scorecards. After that, a cut eye means if the fight has to be stopped, you lose the fight. So obviously he had to get his skates on, and in actual fact, in that 5th round, Maxwell, when he saw the blood, went for it. He went for Smith and started to really sort of try and put it on him, and he was rushing forward. On the rare occasions he was previously firing that right hand, he was leaning over the front foot. He looked very ominous because Smith's pet punch was the right hand, the right cross. He was jabbing, the very occasional hook, but it was the right cross that was the one that he was looking for. And Maxwell falling over the front foot, he did not want to do that. If Smith timed him, you could tell it was going to be good night. But with the cut, suddenly Maxwell gets a bit brave, starts going in. If he won a round, it would be that round, although the cut was because of a head clash. In the 6th round, Dalton Smith picked up another cut. This was on the left eye, but it wasn't as bad. It was more down the side of the eye. But nevertheless, of course, Maxwell's thinking, I've been losing all these rounds, but the guy's got 2 cuts. I've got a chance here. And this is a 12-rounder. But in the 7th, it all became immaterial because, again, Maxwell doing his fencing routine was trying to fire the right hand. It wasn't finding the target. And again, leaning forward too much, and you could tell Smith was looking for that right hand, jab, right cross, and then if you miss with the right cross, basic boxing, you come back with the left hook. Sure enough, the right hand did land. About 2 minutes into the round, it landed. It caught Maxwell on the side of the jaw, right on the corner of the jaw, and it was a grazing sort of punch, and he hit the floor, right on his back, flat on his back. I think he kind of leant up and then he just didn't know where he was, fell backwards. The referee abandoned the count. He started the count but abandoned it. And so Dalton Smith became not only the British super lightweight champ, but also the Commonwealth super lightweight champ. So now he can go for the EBU title and then move on to world title. I've said it all along, the old way is the best way. Do it in incremental steps. But Dalton Smith is looking good. He under pressure. He didn't commit. He was very, very patient when Maxwell was trying to lure him in with all that multitude of feints. Also, Smith didn't panic when he got cut twice. Maintained his shape. Was still concentrating on his work. I mean, very, very impressive. 26 years old, Dalton Smith. I like this guy a lot. I think he's really coming on leaps and bounds. Well, not leaps and bounds, but incrementally. You know, he's getting better and better every time I see him. And those 12-round distance defences he had of his British title will set him in good stead for lengthy fights. You know, it stands to reason. For Sam Maxwell, this is his second defeat in three fights. He lost his unbeaten record. To Alejandro Menezes, was that his name? I can't remember. Menezes. That was at the Echo Arena in Liverpool. He got stopped in 9 rounds, and that was in April of last year. So a year and a bit later, he suffered his second loss by stoppage, 7 rounds to Dalton Smith. He can come back. I mean, he's 34. I suppose he could come back, maybe make one more run, but I don't know. 34 is a bit old, isn't it? Maybe. I don't know. Some people have an Indian summer to their career. But Dalton Smith at 26, looking for bigger honours and doing it the right way, bit by bit. I like Dalton Smith. Leave your comments below. This was on the DAZN. Well, it wasn't actually the headline of the DAZN card. Tell me what you think. Comments below, and of course, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll reply to your comments. I always enjoy doing that. And like the video if you liked it as well. Thanks for your time as always, and bye for now.